My own family staged an intervention to disown me, but they didn't know about the secret business. I was 28 years old, living in my parents' basement, and my entire family thought I was a complete failure. My older brother David had just made partner at his law firm. My younger sister Amy was finishing her doctorate in biology. Then there was me, the middle child who dropped out of college and spent every day in my room on my laptop. I could hear them talking about me upstairs. Mom would cry to Dad about how I had no ambition, no future, no plan. At Thanksgiving, my aunts and uncles would ask what I was doing with my life, and I'd just mumble something about freelancing. The disappointment in their eyes was brutal. I stopped going to family dinners because I couldn't handle it anymore. Every time David came over, he'd knock on my basement door and try to give me career advice. Apply to community college, get a real job, stop wasting your life. Amy was nicer about it, but I could tell she was embarrassed to tell her friends what her brother did for work. Last March, my mom called me upstairs for what I thought was just another lecture. But when I got to the living room, my entire family was sitting there waiting. Mom, Dad, David, Amy, even my grandparents. My stomach dropped. This wasn't a regular family meeting. My dad started talking in this serious voice about how they love me but couldn't watch me destroy my life anymore. He said I'd been living rent-free for 3 years with nothing to show for it. David jumped in saying I was almost 30 with no degree, no career, no savings, that I needed to grow up and take responsibility. Amy tried to be gentle about it, but she agreed that I needed structure and goals. Then my mom delivered the final blow. She said they'd decided to give me 60 days to find a job and move out. If I couldn't do that, I wasn't welcome at family events anymore. They were done enabling my laziness. My grandpa actually said I was a disgrace to the family name. I just sat there taking it, letting them say everything they'd probably wanted to say for years. When they finished, I asked if I could show them something on my laptop. My dad sighed like I was wasting more of their time, but he nodded. I pulled up my bank account on the big living room TV. The balance showed $847,000. The room went completely silent. My mom actually gasped out loud. David's jaw literally dropped. I opened another tab showing my business dashboard. For the past 3 years, I'd been running an online course teaching people how to build websites and apps. Started with one course that made $200 the first month, but I kept improving it, adding more courses, building a community. By month 6, I was making $3,000. By year 2, I was pulling in $40,000 a month. I showed them my revenue charts, my student testimonials, everything. I had over 15,000 students in 67 countries. I'd been working 60-hour weeks building this business while they thought I was playing video games in the basement. My dad just stared at the screen. David asked why I never told anyone. I looked right at him and said, because every time I tried to explain what I was doing, you told me to get a real job. You all made it clear that unless I followed your path, college and corporate jobs, I was worthless. So I stopped trying to explain. My mom started crying, but this time it wasn't disappointment. She kept apologizing, saying she had no idea. Amy asked why I was still living in the basement if I had that much money. Honestly, I was saving for a house and didn't care about impressing anyone anymore. Plus, the basement was quiet and perfect for recording course videos. My grandpa, who called me a disgrace 10 minutes earlier, suddenly wanted to know all about my business strategy. David got real quiet. I could tell his ego was bruising because his little failure brother was making triple his salary. I told them I'd be moving out within the month anyway. I'd already put an offer on a house across town. My dad tried to backtrack, saying I didn't have to leave, but I was done. I spent 3 years being treated like a burden when I was actually building something real. The intervention they staged to disown me ended up being the moment I realized I didn't need their approval anymore. I moved out 3 weeks later, and now I run my entire business from my home office. My family tries to brag about me now at gatherings, but I barely show up. Some damage you just can't undo.